Hello and welcome to another episode of Square Up with GraySquare. This week we got the one, the only Bill Vollrath hanging out with us today. What's up, man?
What's going on? I'm excited to be on.
Yeah, chilling. We shot a grab a beer with GraySquare video with you. How long ago was that? It's been like 3 or 4 months, right?
Yeah, it's about that. Yeah.
Man, we've been messing around with this podcast for I guess probably 2 months now. We've been trying to get Bill and I in the same city so we could pull this off, and we just now did it. Well, yeah, thanks for hanging out, man. We got a good handful of topics that we want to run through. As always, a couple of good business topics that we have some opinions on. We want people to hear, and a couple just general nonsense that'll probably be more interesting than the business stuff. But that's how it goes. Anyway, so Bill's obviously a good friend of mine. We've been working together at this company since day one. Prior to this, we spent probably 4 or 5 years working together at a competitor of ours. Before we got in here. So, Bill, welcome. And if you wouldn't mind, for the people that didn't catch the Grab a Beer video, give us a little about yourself, man. Where you're from, a little background, what you're up to these days, what you got going on.
Cool. Thanks, Landon, for that introduction. I'm excited to be on. For any of you guys that who missed out on our Grab a Beer with GraySquare with Catalina, originally from Richboro, which is in Bucks County, which is in the suburbs of outside of Philadelphia, for those who are wondering. I've known Landon and Tim since, it's 8-9 years?
Something like that.
Yeah. Heck of a ride.
Since we were young and now we are old.
Yeah, right. But no, I'm now the campaign manager on the Verizon retail campaign and helping out with recruiting and doing a little bit of everything right now. Ever since I started out of school, I wanted to be an entrepreneur, wanted to start something big.
Yeah.
And as soon as we started up with GraySquare, I knew we could really blow this up. So
yeah, man, it's definitely been a fun ride. So one of the things that I started bringing into this podcast, I think this is going to be a staple, and I think one of the more interesting things that we ask people.
Staple, nice.
Yeah, a Landon Atkinson staple to the Square Up with GraySquare. So obviously we talked to a lot of people in our team, a lot of outside entrepreneurs that we hope to start hanging out with a little bit more. I found through talking to these types of people that there's always a defining point where somebody decides that, maybe not necessarily I don't want to start my own business, but I need to go down a different path, right? Whether it's through, getting in like an aggressive startup or, going out on your own, doing something. I told mine on the last one, so I won't retell the ridiculous story, but what about you, man? Was there a moment where you decided, maybe it wasn't necessarily that I have to start my own thing, but that I got to go down a different path? Was there something like that for you?
Yeah, definitely. Great question. This happened for me my senior year at Penn State. I took an entrepreneur class, and I went to school originally for marketing on the creative side with advertising, billboards, and I wanted to be the person behind the scenes of creating the ads, things like that, which sounds cool and sounds fun and sounds like a sexy, job or position. But
sure,
when I really looked into the industry, I didn't want to work for somebody else, and the money just wasn't there. And so my senior year, I took this entrepreneur class, and they gave us we had to create an idea and come with a business proposal, business plan. And I did really well in the class, and after watching, which a lot of people know, Shark Tank, the show Shark Tank.
Yeah.
That's really was my defining moment. It was like, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to, have the freedom. I want to be able to have the confidence in myself that I can do something. And so GraySquare, obviously the partnership with us getting together, is kind our Shark Tank moment.
Yeah,
so
right.
Say.
Sans investors.
Yeah,
we don't need no stinking investors. What's funny is we were I don't know how we didn't discover this until like 20 minutes ago.
I know.
I was a marketing major myself, and I don't know what my perception was, but I thought like, all right, I'm going to graduate, I'm going to get a job at a big agency, and then I'm going to walk in, and I'm just going to be in a suit pitching commercial ideas to like Pepsi. like as the 21-year-old. What I found, maybe it's because I wasn't cool enough or whatever, but they weren't hiring a lot of 21-year-olds to write Pepsi commercials.
Yeah,
even
right.
though I was like, that's definitely what I'm going to be doing. So I had to go on a different path. And I took a lot of entrepreneurship classes too. What do you remember any of the business plans that you wrote or fake companies that you made up?
Oh man.
Think about that. I've got one.
Okay, go ahead. You go.
So I took, it was either like entrepreneurship or sports marketing or something like that. I had, they were like, you need to pick a city that doesn't have a professional team and come up with whatever sport it's going to be, the team name, mascot, whatever. I don't know why. This is such a bad idea. But I think everybody else picked the cool cities. I picked Boise, Idaho.
Oh, wow.
All right, Boise, Idaho is going to be a hockey team. And I think we were going to be called like the Boise Pines or something like that.
Shout out to Mark Hodge.
Yeah, right. Shout out to our boy Mark from Idaho. But no, I built this drove me nuts. So we had to build like collateral. Like we were actually going to pitch somebody, right? And
Okay.
So I built like a mock arena. I styrofoam, I cut it, I colored it, I did all this stuff, I painted it. I spent weeks on this thing, right? And at the last minute, somebody, I was showing it in class, and somebody thought it would be cool if I put like a little hockey player, like a little action figure in the middle of the thing. I was like, yeah, why not, right? So I get a little, hockey action figure. I set it in the middle of the thing, and I lost points on my grade because of it. Because it wasn't to scale. Like everything else was so beautifully done. And they were like, yeah, the hockey player in there, if this was to scale, this would be a 40-foot hockey player. I'm like, really? You gonna beat me up on an action figure?
Unbelievable.
That's ridiculous. I also, another one of my claims to fame, I made, you know how Hershey's has like the little like milkshake in the freezer section at like the gas station, like the Wawa or whatever? That was my idea that they stole from me. So this was like, I don't know, it was maybe 2004. They didn't steal it from me. But like 2004, one of the ideas that I had is like, man, if you could get, I don't know how you would like temperature control it, but if you could get a milkshake at the gas station, that'd be baller, right? It'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
My ice cream loving, fat ass.
Kind of one right now.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Got a good grade on it. And then like 5 years later, I see it in the gas station. I'm like, man, I missed out.
Missed out on it.
But anyways, did you have like a
Yes.
fake business that you made?
So, the more I keep thinking about this actually would be a really good idea for an app. But I remember...
Bro, you have so many app ideas.
Yeah, well, at Penn State, every bar is slammed. I mean, line out across the block. I mean, you had to So what I wanted to do in this class is I wanted to create an app where we could have an app where you can check to see how long the lines were to get in prior to going out. That way you don't have to waste time, sitting in lines and just going from line to line. You could be like, oh, this one's only 2-minute wait rather than the 25-minute
on
wait.
the other side of town or whatever.
Yes, and you could just go into the app and be like, you know what? Because Penn State's cold, and you don't want to wait outside.
Right.
Of the the bar or the restaurant.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I know. I kind of want to take it on right now and do it.
There's an app. Well, it's not exactly like that, but it's like for restaurants where you can like check in to the restaurant, like reserve your place on this app, and then it tells you. I saw this in like Tampa, Florida. I think it was called Now Wait or No Wait or something like that.
Okay.
And like you pick the restaurant, you go to the app, you like reserve your place in line, party at 2, 4, whatever, and then it's like there are 13 people in front of you, right? And so you just wander around, roam around town. Then when it gets to like 5 groups ahead of you, you go down to the restaurant and whatever. It was in this like cool part of town where there was all kinds of stuff to do.
Yeah.
So people would just like check into the thing, just walk around town, and then go up and then jump in. It's kind of like that.
How would it notify you? Just like vibrate on your phone?
Yeah, it's like on the
alert?
app. You can like look. You can open up the app and it's like 13 people or 10 people or 5 people, and then as it gets closer, you just go down to the thing.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, but no, that'd be solid.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. I'm trying to think of other ones that I came up with. Those were the biggest.
That's the one that sticks out to me. For me, yeah. Those are pretty good ones, though.
Pretty solid, right?
Yeah.
All right, if you're listening to this podcast, submit your email address. We're going to send you a non-disclosure agreement so that you can't steal our ideas.
I love it.
Nah, we're not gonna do that. Have at it. Steal away at our ridiculous ideas about milkshakes and
Just
waiting in line at the club.
give me a royalty. I'll be cool with that.
Give us
15% royalty.
We want some equity. Yeah, there's the true Shark Tank coming out right there.
There you go.
See, what's funny is like Bill and I have been friends for a million years, like we said, and when my experience with Bill prior to starting this business is him as a friend and a salesperson and a sales manager, right? That side of business, that side of like our personal friendship. When we watch Shark Tank, he turns into a full financier, MBA with all of the knowledge about everything. He's like, oh no, it's too much equity. And then Damon John is like, that's too much equity. Like, it's out of control. It's just like,
I love the show, man. Yeah, it's great.
You're like a student of the game.
When you watch it enough, yeah.
I know, right? You just kind of learn and figure it out. All right, let's jump into the next one here. So,
cool.
This is actually a pretty good topic. So, as someone that's in a team building type of role, as you are here and have been for a long time, talent acquisition is your whole job.
Yeah.
It's the front half of your job. The back half of your job is doing something with the talent once you get it. So in regards to like talent acquisition, through the interview process, what's the importance you place on a resume versus someone's personality? Like how do you weight it?
No, it's a good question. For me personally, in our industry, I think personality weighs a lot more than the resume.
I agree.
I think you can learn a lot about a person just by talking with them and getting to know them, how they react to certain questions, their facial expressions. Are they smiling? The handshake before the interview even starts.
Yeah.
The excitement level. You can see if someone's into what you're talking about. And so for me, I think the personality weighs a lot more in my mind when I'm taking a look at a candidate. Are they funny? Are they do they have a positive vibe to them? You cannot get any of that from staring at a resume. You can get only so much from a resume, but when we're in a sales position, when we're in a marketing position, when you want someone to run a meeting to help change a team's perspective on the week or their day, you need someone with a little personality, a little bit of edge to them. And so for me,
a little bit
personality.
Dare I say swag?
Yes, swag. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's the showed off.
Yeah, right. So here's what I'd say to that. I think anybody would agree with that for any job where you're dealing with people, other than something in like the medical field or something where the resume is way more important than anything else. A lot of people that listen to this are in the job market. So if I think where I'm getting at with this is I can't, like if I'm looking for a job and I'm applying for jobs, I can't sell you my personality on the resume, or can I? How can I like from your end?
Okay.
How do you extrapolate whether or not someone has a personality based on their resume? Like, what do you look for?
Good
like,
question.
Do you know what I mean?
So, there's a couple things I look for. Have they been in the customer service fields prior, such as a waitress, a waiter, a bartender, something along those lines where they're in the customer service, where they have to talk to the customers.
Sure.
Usually to do well in those type of fields, you have to be able to be good at talking with customers. I could almost get that from looking at a resume based on their prior experience. I can tell someone's competitive if they're into sports or if they have some sort of competitive something on the resume. I like that because obviously with sales and moving up the ladder, you got to be competitive with yourself. And
I was recognized for this. I was number one at this.
I was captain of my soccer team. I was whatever, right? Yeah. So I like looking for things like that. But then again, does it match the personality, right? Because a lot of times where you could have the best resume of all time, you come in and it doesn't match up.
Sure. Yeah, how many times I've had my heart broken by amazing resumes?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Same here.
Like I'm like, this is the greatest resume that I've ever seen in my life. This is a 5-star candidate, and then I'm just heartbroken when this bum shows up. No, that's rude. That's rude. But I mean, same thing though. I've had a lot of times where it's the opposite direction, where I look at a resume that someone's brought to the table, and I'm like, that's kind of a Hail Mary. Maybe it's a good candidate, maybe it's not. And I'm just completely floored by the personality and the charisma this person brings that they didn't relate well on their resume. And I think where like the lesson could be is I think a lot of people, if you don't figure out how to express your own personality through your resume, you're going to get looked over, even if you're the best man or woman for the job.
Yep.
Because that front end thing. So here's another interesting thing that I wanted to talk about. This is something that I'm seeing a lot more of, and I think something that we might even start to explore is the video interviewing. And I don't mean like a Skype interview. That's played out. That's old news. I'm talking about these like pre-recorded interviews. I had last time I was looking for a job. I'll give you an example of what this was like. So I go to this like staffing agency, right? I go in, they're like, what type of jobs are you looking for? Blah, blah, blah. What do you want to do? What'd you do? And they're like, I gave my answers, and they're like, all right, so we're going to record your video answers to these questions, just send it out to people. Right? Okay. So they put me in this creepy dark room with a microphone and a video camera. I swear to God, there's like this big camera facing me, right? I got a microphone, I got a camera, and then it was written down. It was like, question number 1 is, tell us about a time that you had a victory in business, or tell us about a challenge that you faced as a manager, whatever. Just generic questions. And it's like, you got 2 minutes to do it. And you just like push the button, it starts recording, they're like, oh, so I'm so-and-so, and this is my thing. What are your thoughts on that? From both a candidate experience, like hypothetically if you were on the other side of it, and then from an observer of the process, or like a talent scout, so to say.
Oh man, okay. So I feel like from an interviewee experience, I think it would be less stressful because you're not.
You think so?
Interacting with someone on the other, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like a setup robot. Like you don't have to like too much. Like if you're interacting with someone like through Skype or through FaceTime or something like that, like you have to react at a certain amount of time, and how you react, and they can see your reactions.
So with the other thing, you can like kind of prepare your script, get settled in.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I could, yeah.
So I looked at it a different way. So
cool.
I was nervous about it.
Okay.
Honestly, was because
because you're in a creepy, dim lighted room,
dingy, moldy room,
spider webs in the corners.
This business is in Philly somewhere. I'm not going to say their name, but this is a staffing agency in Philadelphia. But no, I think since this is several years ago, but I'd already been in like outside sales, customer facing jobs for years and like several years, and my confidence has always come from being able to read the person that I'm talking to and to talk directly to them, read their body language, change my tone, change my approach to like who I'm talking to. When I'm looking at this video camera, I'm like, man, is this a 25-year-old man? Is this a 60-year-old woman? Is this? That's
a good point.
Who am I talking to here, right? So I'm trying to like use my language and figure it out. So I was nervous about it, but you think it's easier? You wouldn't be as worried about it?
You know, that just reminded me of like the movie The Wizard of Oz, where like the guy behind the curtains, like who am I talking to? Who am I talking to?
Right. Yeah. It's just like yeah.
Sorry. What you ask?
No, I was saying like so you kind of think the opposite, that it'd be easier if you're like the interviewee, like. You can sit there, you prepare.
You can prepare, a little. It's different. I can see. Sure. I can see what you're saying. Like it's a change of pace. Like I'm used to doing it this way, but now it's like this.
I'm just weird. I don't know.
No. I mean, that's perfectly normal. No, it's a good debate to have.
Yeah, right. So like the reason I ask is this is something I want.
It'd be easier on our end. It would be a lot easier on our end. Like watching these interviews and
doing work.
You have to do the work. Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Is that why companies are doing it out of laziness? You think?
I don't know.
I mean, all of technology.
It's quicker. It's quicker to evaluate. Is I think the biggest thing.
I would say that 99% of technology is built to serve people's laziness. An elevator exists, you don't have to walk upstairs. Car exists, you don't have to walk down the street, right? anything, you know.
Yeah.
So I think this is just an example of that. It's an example of like people want to be lazy, companies want to be lazy. I'm one of them. I'm the guy that runs the department. I want to be lazy.
The talking remote, you don't have to press the buttons. You just
Oh God, yeah. You don't have to push two buttons to go
on
to
your
channel.
fingers. Oh, my finger
Yeah.
cramp.
You don't have to push number 11 to go to ESPN or whatever. You just say sports, and it just shows up on a TV. That's a good one. I don't know. Maybe someone would try it. If you're listening to this and you've ever done one of these video interviews, hit us up on
absolutely.
Instagram DM and just give us your thoughts on it. I'm really.
I would love to hear
like
feedback.
it.
I would love to hear feedback.
Yeah, we don't know. Cool. So I have in a lot of these podcasts, we like to do 1 to 2 general nonsense topics.
Yes.
'Cause we get a kick out of it. So Bill is known in our office as, and I label it, the snack aficionado. So think about the last time you saw in the gas station, in the grocery store, a snack that just brought back your childhood, that just brought back good memories. You're like, man, I forgot about Charleston Chew, or whatever, right? Bill brings those in daily. For years has been someone who just gets a good throwback snack in there. I don't know where he's finding this stuff. I don't know where he developed the skill to be able to pull this off, but you were an undisputed champion in this capacity. Tell us about your ways. How do you pull this off?
So, I mean,
it all started
I love the
out.
label. Yeah, it all started out one day. No, I mean, I think when I find good snacks, I relate it to obviously things that I like, but then I'm like, what would the general public like? Mm-hmm. So it's, some of those things that come to mind is peanut butter, chocolate, salty versus like
Sweet.
Yeah, like so those combinations in my head are floating through. And as I'm looking throughout a store, convenience store, my eyes are just on, like my head's just rotating. I can just see everything and be like, ooh, that would look good, but ooh, there's a combination there for someone else to like.
Sure.
And so I think the one time I brought in these chocolate drizzled pretzels.
Oh God, the
pretzels. that were Reese flavor, like Reese cup flavor.
The peanut butter, yeah.
The peanut butter chocolate drizzled pretzels.
Yeah.
That just sounds good.
Sure.
Like the way I just said it, the name sounds good. Anyone listening would be like, "Oh my God, where can I get one of those or a bag of those?"
My soul is warm and my belly is fat thinking about this tasty treat.
Exactly. But I mean, I love the title of the snack. The snack guy.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny because I'm on a diet too, which is even the funniest part about this whole thing is I'm on a no sugar diet, and to my left is a bag full of snacks that are just sugar. It's loaded with sugar.
I'm glad you called it out because I was about to.
I'll call myself out.
You literally brought in an entire, 4 sleeves worth of these like chocolate cookies.
Yep.
Are you like going to get them? Man, I still don't want one. I mean, I do want all of them, but I'm not gonna.
Fudge stripped shortbread cookies.
Striped. Yeah,
striped. Yes, striped fudge striped shortbread cookies. See, that just sounds good.
Of course,
and
it does.
Everyone enjoys
it. So, do you ever cater your snack to the individual? Do you ever come into a day thinking like, today I'm going to be working in the office with Steve or Landon or Jay or whoever. They're going to be all about this because what I find is that. You like anytime you bring something in, I'm like, this is how my day was supposed to go. Is that I was supposed to eat this snack? Are you thinking that much into it, or are you going very generic?
Generic,
like everybody likes this.
Generic with a piece of creativity attached to it. Like it's like a generic, like for example, pretzels. Everyone likes pretzels.
Sure.
Drizzled in chocolate, great. Reese cups with chocolate and pretzels equals amazing. Like that's a snack to remember. People will remember the amazing snacks. That snack is a classic Bill Vollrath knows what to bring in.
Stable.
Stable.
You know what I just thought of? Like, you know, when you ask the question, who do you want to be when you grow up? How do you want to be remembered? How do you want your legacy to withstand the test of time? How much of yours is, you know, Bill was a philanthropist. He raised a great family. He did all these things. He was a prominent member of the community. How much of it is that? And how much of it is the man couldn't be stopped when it came to snacks?
I want that.
Is it 50-50?
No, that needs to be number one. That needs to be number one. The guy just knows how to pick his snacks, all right?
And also blah, 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 blah. He donated to whatever. He cured cancer,
saved
blah,
babies,
blah, blah.
yeah.
Yeah, right. It's all, you know, secondary at best to the man fed people well. Fair.
I have fed many homeless guys on the street with my snacks, and
Really?
they seem to enjoy it. Yes, any snacks. Why do you think I buy so many?
You buy them in such high volume to get back to give me look at this
I
guy.
do. I really do. No, seriously. I try to do one good thing every single day. I think that's something that I've been trying to do ever since like 2-3 years ago. Is something do one good thing for someone every single day, and giving back to the homeless or giving them food is part of that. And if I can take appreciation of my sweet treats, and I can share it with a homeless guy on the street, it might make his day. It might make his week. It might make his year. I have no idea, but that's what I like to be remembered for.
Anybody can give $1. How many people can give a top tier snack?
Like a homeless guy's like $1 or a bag of chocolate Reese Cups drizzled pretzels. Mm-hmm. I think you would remember the greatest snack he's ever tasted. He or she has ever tasted. Like.
This is unbelievable. So we've so at this point in the podcast, so like we use you know, like GarageBand to record these things because we're not in the studio yet. There are and it records like bars, right?
Okay.
Like how many bars? You know, because it's built for music or whatever.
Okay.
So we're at like 805 bars or whatever right now. I'm willing to bet that there's like 300 bars worth of snack material in this.
That's awesome.
Like over 30% of the content is snack related. All right, so next topic here. This is kind of a cool one. Is there anything interesting or cool that you're investing in or have like heard of to invest in? You use like some of the apps and stuff, right?
Like Acorns app?
Yeah.
Yeah, like as far as like investing for me and things like that. That's what I personally use.
Yeah.
Is Acorns.
Are you picking anything cool in there?
No.
Or first off, like tell people about like that app because you introduced me to it.
Acorns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. So if anyone who had, you know, if anyone's using it, they would know. But if anyone who doesn't know anything about it, there's an app called Acorns, where pretty much it takes your spare change. Like let's say I go to the store and I buy an amazing snack of chocolate drizzled pretzels of Reese Cups.
You're so set on these particular snacks.
And let's say it costs $2.80. Well, it rounds up so that extra 20 cents gets put into a portfolio of all these different companies that they will invest that 20 cents into. And so what happens is all the spare change that I make from all these purchases gets put into all these portfolios and gets spread around to all these investment companies. And so I don't really have to do the research behind it. It's already built into the app where it
kind of does it for you.
Kind of does it for me, yeah.
That's cool. So I have that one. I also have Stash.
I've heard of Stash.
I love
explain
Stash.
to the viewer. Yeah, explain to everyone that's listening on here.
I love Stash. So it basically like it's a one of probably a million apps out there that kind of simplifies investing and saves you some of the fees and things like that of a traditional broker, and it allows you to get in at smaller quantities. So if you want to invest $1, you can do it, or if you want to invest $10 million, you can probably do that too. It just gives you more range, but my favorite thing about the app is that it groups different types of companies together into these little, not necessarily like a fund, but we'll call it like a fund. And they kind of break it into categories. And so you can just pick based on your interests. Like, oh, I'm interested in small businesses, or I'm interested in real estate, or I'm interested in, soft drinks, whatever. Like a million different things you could pick.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can kind of just pick between those. Okay.
Yeah. So I have probably, let me see, like 2, 3,
well,
4,
where
5,
do you
6, 7,
where would you
8,
mostly
9, 10, 11,
invest
12,
in, Landon?
13, 14.
Like out of those groupings that you just kind of mentioned, which one you would
So I've been messing around with this for probably, I don't know, 3 months now.
Okay.
And I'm across the board. I'm up 4.7%. So I would not recommend listening to me. That is not good.
Okay.
I'm not winning, but I'm having fun, and I haven't lost anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's part of the battle. All right, so I'll give you some examples here because I think this is interesting. My biggest winner, let's start there, is corporate cannabis.
I'm not shocked.
Like marijuana companies.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm
not surprised by that at all.
Dude, I'm up 20% on that.
That's talking about good investments. I think that's
massive.
probably the next massive trend.
I'm gonna start shifting a lot into that. I'm definitely winning there. So if you're out there, not that you could win there, but I am. Who knows what the market does?
Yeah,
right?
who knows?
But
exactly.
I'm doing well
That's
there.
the market. Yeah.
Let me find some other winners here because this is interesting. Oh God, there's one. It's called Gamers for the Win, like video game companies.
Wow.
Like
okay.
like companies that make video game technology.
Fortnite.
Probably that's probably in there. I don't even know the companies that are in there, but I just see the category. I'm up 11% there. Let's see.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Pacific powerhouses, like Asian companies.
Okay.
I'm up 10%. Let's find some of the losers here. I don't know if I'm losing big anywhere.
Yeah, you're probably pretty safe in the other ones, right? For the most part.
You know what? I'm getting let down by like a robot one. There's it's called Robots Rising. I'm losing a little bit there.
Well, that's just scary if that ever.
Yeah, but you think it's going to, right?
Well, I know. Yeah, I know. With all,
like
yeah,
that.
no, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, this is the most disappointing one out of all of them. There's one called Copy the Experts, right?
What? You're gonna have to explain that one.
So basically, it's like it just invests in whatever experts are investing in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it just cheats
Okay.
off of
Okay.
whoever these big name investors are.
And you said you're losing in that one,
Yeah.
which doesn't even make sense. Like
All right,
if they're the experts, right? They should know what to invest in. That doesn't even make.
We don't know.
I know. We don't know.
We don't know. That's like, I don't know. I feel like, and this is going to show how wildly uneducated that I am. I feel like investing is just like roulette. Like you just
That's the market.
I don't know.
You just don't know.
I mean, unless you have I make a couple of educated guesses that seem to make sense. And I got a little bit on, but to be in a position where you're literally copying world-renowned experts and losing your shirt is wild to me.
No, I know it's crazy.
I feel like these experts are like weathermen, right? You get paid for the attempt, not the accuracy, right?
Facts.
If you're the weatherman, you get paid for, taking a stab at it. If you're the expert here, well, I guess you don't get paid for it because you lose your money and your client's money, but
yeah,
it's out there.
Very, very interesting. So Acorns and Stash.
Acorns
are
and
the
Stash.
two apps that we're using.
I have another one that I'm just going to give it away. Tim's going to get upset at me for it. But Tim and I are both into this one called Water of the World. Have you heard us talk about it? All right, so there's all these I don't want to call it conspiracy theory, but it's borderline conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Basically saying
Interesting.
I'll let people judge whether it's a conspiracy theory or not. So they're saying that over the next, 10 to 20 years, the world is very quickly running out of water, right?
Okay.
There are places like South Africa where people are on, rations, so to say. You're only allowed to use a certain amount of water. It's that way in California from time to time as they kind of run low on water, whatever the case may be. And it's basically projected that, all these places are running out of water. And right now, it's wildly expensive, like fresh water.
Sure.
That it's wildly expensive to, make salt water into fresh water. Tens of thousands of dollars for a cubic yard to be made fresh. So it's literally worthless, right? It's a worthless process.
So
what these companies are doing are investing in, let's just call it hoarding the resources, right?
Okay.
So that when it becomes a super valuable commodity, supply and demand, the water runs out, demand goes up.
Sure.
These companies that are, I don't know what they're storing in buckets in a warehouse. I don't know what's going on. But these companies are doing something about it that they can exploit people and charge them a lot of money for water. I don't know.
Very interesting.
It's definitely a moral dilemma.
Yeah,
However,
right.
I'm making 6%, so I'm not really upset about it.
Yeah, you're pulling the plus out of that. Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. We could go on about this forever.
I know.
All right, cool. This is fun. I think we're cool on time here.
Oh, absolutely.
We've been kicking it for like half an hour or something like that. Billy, anything else you want to run through?
I mean, I'm good, man. I'm excited just to be on and
Yeah.
be on more of these. There's a lot
This
of
is fun,
topics. There's a
man.
lot of topics that we can
Yeah.
really dig into here.
I had a good time with it. All right. So if I'm out there in the world and I want to follow Bill Vollrath, how do I pull that off?
So you can follow me on LinkedIn. You can follow me on my Instagram page. It's Wrath of Vol, which a lot of people have always questioned me about that name. But if my last name is Vollrath, I just swap
There you
the
go.
name around. Wrath of Vol. WRATHOVOLL. Wrath of Vol. Or you can find me on Facebook as well. You can find us on our company, GraySquare.
At Go GraySquare
At
and
Gray-
everything.
Yep. Yeah.
Nice. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
man.
Well, again, I appreciate you doing this, man.
Appreciate you having me on. This is awesome. Yeah, I love this.
We'll do this again sometime. So thanks for jumping on to another episode of Square Up with GraySquare. Thanks for hanging out.
Boom.
Later.